Hey guys, let me allow you to adjust. Hey guys, my name is. Should I tell you my music name or be my real name?
Your podcast name.
I don't even know, man.
Your podcaster name.
My name is Joshua Mark, and today we have a guest you've seen before, or maybe you have not seen him before. But we have Koke, the podcaster from the good.
Living podcast. You know I'm actually good with Coke. And I'm going to forgive you for forgetting my podcast name. I'll deal with you actually. I'm not going to forgive you. When you come on my own, I'll forget it. I'm like, oh, where is he from again? He say, what's now you? How did you get in? How did this guy get in here?
Oh God, my sincere apologies. By the next time I come to introduce him again, I will not forget. So today we are most likely going to cause a little trouble or a lot of trouble. Sorry. Before we jump into it, how you all doing today? Whoever is watching this video, just pat yourself on the back and be like, "I'm fine. Thank you for asking." Yeah, sad. Look at you. I forgive you for such behavior you just carried out. I don't dey attack people who are supposed to watch my video. So yeah, all jokes aside, today we're talking about Gen Z and millennials. Now, not calm down. We're not going all out. We're just touching two sensitive areas. The first is which of them do you feel make better parents, and then the second is which of them do you feel have better marriages, like succeed in marriages. So yeah, that's where we're starting off. So we can start off with better parents, then we go to marriages. So a Gen Z parent and a millennial parent, who do you think would make a better parent?
I think Gen Zs absolutely make better parents. I'm not saying that they make better parents at this moment, but potentially, yes. I'm not making a joke.
No,
Rox.
no,
Why
no.
you-
I like the way you said it. I was preparing to attack you, but then you said potentially, and for someone who believes in positivity, optimism and whatnot,
Yeah,
yeah, you
I
don't
believe
catch
that Gen Z parents have all the tools
me.
to be phenomenal parents.
Yes.
Because now there are studies coming out in psychology in different aspects of life where you
Don't
know
hold us in our truth.
but there are studies
but
coming
true.
out now where
There are
they,
studies coming out
now they have the tools and the knowledge
to be better than the
to raise
millennials.
children in ways that would make them valuable in society, and then you won't make the mistakes that imagine a Gen Z is like the updated OS version of a millennial parent.
Very true.
So
No drag.
they are obviously updated versions of that parent. So whatever mistakes your parents made, you're clearly going to
You should be better
improve
than
on
them.
that with your own children with the added tools that you have. That's why I think Gen Z parents are much better.
I like the fact that we're talking about futuristically. Like we're saying in futuristic terms, because if
I'm
we are
not
talking with
present.
if we're talking with the Gen Zs that I'm seeing, forgive the laugh. If we're talking for the Gen Zs that I see now, I don't see them being better parents. But I like the angle you came from, the optimistic angle of they have all it takes to be better parents. But they would have to go the extra mile, which will be difficult because I think the foundation of Gen Zs is, it was, will I say, too soft. There was a terminology that we had for them before. We used to call them Indomie generation because we believe that they are the soft this thing. And yes, we have, before you people come and drag me, we have very smart, innovative Gen Zs when it comes to technology, creative ways of living life better. But when it comes to parenting, I think most of them are too impatient to be good parents. Like the patience level is not there. Like, I mean, let's many of them jump from, they have like 6, 7 talking stage. No, 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 no. Let's not even talk
Well,
about.
how about you tell us why millennial parents are better?
Well, I've not said they are better, but if you take 10 millennial parents, 10 Gen Zs, and put them in the same place, you are most likely going to have more better parents from millennial side than the Gen Z side. And we can say it has to do with their upbringing. We millennials were the ones who, so many of them had this, what's the word, this moral, there was a strong grip on moral standings. Yeah, there are things you would not do because of the family you are from. There are situations you will not get into. There are conversations you will not have because of that moral stand. But then Gen Zs are the ones who are they are daredevils. Like they take risk on everything, including their own life. So so now we started on the positive note for Gen Zs to come and attack me. But if you want to attack me, let's go at it. Yeah. They have the tools to be better parents, but they have to want to be better parents to be better parents.
I believe that they are already parents who are Gen Z. This is the generation that starts from. I don't.
Yeah,
You know the age.
Gen Zs,
However,
yeah, Gen Zs are 24, 25 are Gen Zs. So yes, they are already even parenting.
definitely. What I want to say here is
26, I'll be 27.
I think it's up to
Yeah,
27 to 98.
Yeah. Gen
I'm
Zs are 27, so yeah.
98, I'm
So
like
they are-
closing the door.
Com-
Oh, near millennial.
So yeah, they are already even parenting. Jokes apart. Yeah.
Here's the thing. There are Gen Z parents that have the tools and are using the tools.
True.
If I was a parent, the things that I know that has affected my life now as an adult,
Yeah.
I will use those things to try and hack my children into better human beings than I am. Right?
Sorry, why do you use the word hack? Why do you want to hack them
It's the
into?
easiest way to enunciate what I'm feeling,
I
to
get
articulate.
you. I get you.
So it's like, it's a foolproof way of getting somebody or a child to turn out a certain way.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So that knowledge, I believe that Gen Z parents are already using that knowledge because it is
some
present
of them.
now. So some of them are
Yeah,
using it.
jokes apart, I know a few Gen Z parents
And if you lump
that are
them,
doing
if you lump
amazing
them
work.
into
The
one,
wholesomeness of the impatient ones.
yeah, you can't lump everybody in together because
Yeah,
we do not
true.
have accurate stats on who is doing it well and who is not doing it well. If your parents trained you to be morally upright,
You will be morally.
you will be morally upright.
Well, no, the chance of being morally
people
upright.
suicide, you get.
Yeah,
but
but
even on the other end, people still suicide. People
True,
who grow up without parents, maybe their mother was a hooker or something.
Yeah.
They still turn out to like, no, that's not good. This is,
True.
I'm going to make sure I train my child to be, as upright as anything.
So as sad as it is, I'm going to have to agree with you that Gen Zs and millennials, it's not about the generation or the century, it's about the individuals.
Yeah.
Because yes, we also have millennial parents who should have never been parents. I'm saying it with my full damn chest. Many of you millennial parents, you should have never had a child. Come and beat me if you can. Yeah, but because it's the concept of parenting is too delicate, and I think mankind is gradually losing it. Sadly, there's enough knowledge for you to be a great parent. You just have to want it enough to actually be a great parent.
Yeah. So you know what? It's about having the information and using
the
it
information
now.
and using
That's
it.
what makes you a great parent. That's why this podcast exists in the first place. Because you will always
yes.
learn the stuff that you need to improve your life.
That's how we exist in the first
That's
place.
the whole idea of good living as well.
Good living.
That's that.
This one is real matters only. Oh. It's not good living. I don't care about good.
We're
I just
already
want,
on it. Like,
we just
I'm
want
sure
to.
the name is written down somewhere. They can't miss it. They're aggressively selling.
So yeah, true.
What about marriages though?
Now that's where the thing is difficult. That's where the difficult one is, because millennials had a generation where millennials switched from the generation that believed a man should be a man and all the manly decisions should be made by the man. Millennials, that switch came from millennials. Switch from that era to the era where we started having this whole energy of equality, men and women on the same notes, this and that. They switch from gender. What's the right word? Because if you enter, once you start to talk of equality in gender, it have turned to war. So I'm trying to get the right word. Millennials were the people. It was in the millennial era that the switch started from gender defined roles to trying to group everything together.
Yeah, it became more of a spectrum now.
Yeah, so they now start. So the Gen Z era is where you have women telling you things that they expect their man to do. Yeah, and you have men telling things they expect their woman to do, and you have women seeing other women do things and give them that classification of pick me, saying, "Oh, how can you be a wife and you're cooking for your husband 3 times a week? How can you be a husband and you're washing your wife's clothes?" This whole stuff happened more in the Gen Z era. In the millennial era, the millennials were that last breed that believed a woman would cook for her household and still go out and be a working class person. So there's so much difference in their ideologies.
Yeah, it's very insightful how you really broke down the transition from There's a generation where it was all man do this,
Man do this, woman do
There's a
this.
generation where it was like, okay, we're slightly mixing.
Yeah,
And then there is
everybody.
now where it's now almost like a fight. I'm not,
Yeah. So that's where the issue now is. So we might have to still fall back to how we agreed on the first.
yeah, like to copy and
It
paste
has
the
to
ideology.
it has to
Abi.
go back to individualism.
But
Like
there is something I believe.
yeah,
If the difference between the generations and how the couples live their lives now is like, I feel like the risk level of a failed relationship
yeah.
with the Gen Z is higher because of excess information and temptation. It's
You're not even lying at
yeah,
all.
it's excess.
Yeah,
However, the people that didn't have the excess information also,
yeah.
they lost relationships because of lack of information.
True.
So my very, very minor issues where I need to understand that I just need to listen to her first,
Yeah,
repeat what she says so that she knows that I understand it, and then tell her my own point of view so we can agree.
yeah.
Simple tweaks like that. People from like 60 years ago had no idea you could do that, and then they will stay in this perpetual vicious cycle of arguments and pattern until they be like, we can't do this anymore and break up. So it's such an easy problem to solve to us
So
right now.
yeah, true.
So it's really difficult to choose which one. It's like everybody had their own poison.
Yeah, sincerely speaking, everybody had their poison because no, sincerely speaking, they all had their poison. I also, if we even look, if we go a little further, like before the millennials and whatnot, would even see generations where there was no internet. Yeah, there was no internet. All they had were just responsibilities.
Yeah.
So a household they raise all their sons to be fathers. You see, they go with their father to the farm. If he's a farmer, they go to hunt. If he's a hunter, if he's a palm mine tapper, they go to tap palm mine, and that's all they do until the father says, "Oh, there's a girl." Most of them have even had marriages planned out. Even the moment the song, like two friends, my wife gives birth to a boy, your wife gives birth to a girl.
Yeah,
We just
yeah.
laugh over beer and
Decide that these two will
beer,
marry
palm
each
wine,
other, yeah?
over palm wine, and be like, our children will marry. So that time, they were just raised. The women were raised to keep a home. The man was raised to have a home, like protect his home. So the transition kept going from them just being your own job is to bring in what the woman will cook in the house and take care of the children. They started moving from that to now start having, this one says, this person will tell you, I have individual dreams, I want to be this. There was a time where the only dream they all had was, I want to start my own family.
Yeah.
And now we're in a generation where women think big, I want to be the first this, I want to be the first that, which is beautiful. For those of you that have partial hearing problem, before you now say, I compare this generation to that generation. So it's beautiful that we have big dreams and whatnot. But I think the more knowledge we have, the more responsibilities and the harder it is to have successful marriages. Sadly.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
now
that
it's
is.
too much hard work.
However, the same copy and paste of psychology. I'm not trying to argue with you.
No.
See,
I like the way you say it. However, like, yeah, let's go, man. Let's go.
if we have the tools, like I said
In the first place.
yeah, with parenting as well, with the tools, you can have a phenomenal marriage, but that takes like extra work. It takes discipline. So
Yeah.
who has better marriages? Back to the question would be, we have to
Millennials.
now say potentially.
Potentially millennials.
Okay, currently, yeah, I believe millennials will have like the older generation,
Yeah.
the better the marriage, especially for those who have hacked it, for
Yes.
those who
Yes.
have a system and
Yes,
it's
people that
working
have
for them.
Yes, true.
So, but potentially, who has the best tool? Who has the chances of having it?
Millennials.
It's the Gen Zs because
Millennials.
they have more knowledge. Like you know what to do.
Now that's why it's more difficult for Gen Zs. And remember that Gen Zs are a very impatient generation. Count 10 Gen Zs, attention span is always very short. And it's not even a diss to them because it's not their fault.
It's the world they're born into.
Technology makes it a lot difficult for you to have long-term attention. Why am I saying that? Before, this might be a little bit, we might drift a bit from this, but before we had smartphones, when you are reading for exam or this stuff, you have like 4 or 5 textbooks. You have to cover it page by page to get that knowledge. But now, type in AI to define something for you or summarize it for you, you have that knowledge. So the 2 3 hours you would have used to study for that course, which builds character, because we don't say that, you now just use 2 minutes to do that search and you get a result. And when you do something over and over, it becomes a pattern. So many Gen Zs are too impatient. That's why the first misunderstanding you have with a potential partner, you call it quits.
Yeah, because
So-
our tolerance for
So it's very distinct. You see people marry 1 year, 2 years, they're already doing divorce.
yeah. The difficulty tolerance has become
is
low.
very low. So me, I'll go back to millennials because I mean, those guys went through hell. People that use lantern to study, and the one that is using solar.
That's a decent point, to be fair.
Know this, I like my Gen Z buddies, yeah? I like my Gen Z hardworking men. And I believe at the end of the day that it still will not even matter millennials or Gen Z. Whoever has said, I want to be a good parent, I want to be a good partner,
Yeah.
and is willing to put in the hard work, you will succeed.
And he's making use of the tools that they have.
Make use of the tools because there are more and more tools. I mean, you can actually go online and psychologists are everywhere now putting out content. Though not every psychologist has sense. Yeah, I said it, drag me. But truth be said is there's more content now, but people need to know good content.
Yeah.
And that's why podcasts like Real Matters Only and The Good Living are here to help you.
Just had to have it.
So, I mean, yeah, marketing moments because
Yeah, absolutely.
we put out healthy content that would help you.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and whoever is watching this from their house, their car, or those of you that are like me that always consume content when you're lying down in your bed. Until next time, bye.